Hi guys, welcome back to the House of Yoga podcast. My name is Kavi, I am your host and founder. Today's episode is all about the best and the worst decisions I've made in my yoga career. Now, this is applicable for you as well if you are not following a yoga career, but you just want to build your own career from scratch. I have started my own career from 19 years old, and I feel like there are many things I've learned along the way that I not regret, because I don't believe in regrets, but didn't do so well. And I really want to share them with you in the hope that you're going to learn from them. So intention for today is that you get to learn things that maybe you can implement into your own career and things I would avoid. Before we get into it, let's start with the meditation. It's going to be a simple one today. It's just about your breath. So whenever you feel ready, you can close your eyes. Remember, this is just 1 minute of mindfulness. Keeping the eyes softly closed. Just start to tune in with your natural breathing pattern. Feel the breath entering the body and feel how your chest and your belly respond. How deep is your breathing right now? How often are you inhaling and exhaling? Can you try to just elongate your breath slightly? And we'll just take one intentional inhale together. Breathe in, fill up your body like a balloon. Now hold the breath and open the mouth with a big sigh. Let go. And maybe you can set your own intention for today's podcast episode. How would you like to receive? How would you like to listen? When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, we'll get straight into today's episode. I would like to share with you some things that I would not recommend doing that I had to do to learn from. Now, the first thing, which I still get commented on a lot, is that I'm not loud enough. I have a very soft-spoken voice. I don't really know how to project it that well, but it's become better. Now, the reason I'm saying this as a mistake that I think I want to share with you is because the practice of yoga, chanting Om, and just connecting with my breath, I really feel like has opened up my voice. And not only that, having a clear, steady, confident voice that you are able to use in different situations is really, really helpful. It allows you to assert some authority. It allows you to show that you're confident. It's been a really great thing to learn to speak louder. Another thing is related to finance. Now, this episode is all about building your own career. So that's why we're going to cover different topics. So related to finance, I did not used to track my expenses. I would not even write down the money that I was earning. It was kind of like a rough idea in my head. I realized when reading Atomic Habits by James Clear that I don't want to be the type of person that just kind of, like here and there dilly-dallies. Like, I want to make sure that I'm on it. And I'm a teacher who knows what I'm earning and I know what to put aside, because I do have savings goals. I do have other ambitions like this podcast that I want to create and save up for. So I now track all of my expenses, all of my income, and I have this on a simple Google sheet. So it's really easy to do. You don't need an accountant for it. But if you prefer to, definitely look into outsourcing that. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit before we go into more mistakes that I've made. I'd love to share with you some things that actually I'm really glad that I did. So one of the best things that I did was invest in a business coach. So I invested in a yoga teacher business coach specifically last year. And that was for a month. And oh my God, it was so helpful. It was just so nice to have someone holding you accountable. If you're a yoga teacher and listening, you know that you're a one-person team. Like, if you don't want to teach a class, you don't have to teach a class ever. But if you want to teach loads of classes, it's up to you to make sure that they happen. So having someone there to kind of help me to shift my mindset was just extremely helpful. I'll give you one example of how she helped. So I showed up for a class that was a group class and no one showed up. Even though people said they were going to online, they had booked, but no one showed up. And I got quite upset about it. This was in England. Because I was like, why has nobody shown up? I took it as a personal thing at the time. But when I spoke to my business coach about it, she said, okay, so what did you do with that time? And I didn't do anything with it. I was just moping around feeling sad. Now, she told me when you have blocked out a time for work, even if it doesn't happen in the exact format that you think it's going to happen, utilize that time. So now if something gets cancelled or I have something booked and it's not going through in the exact way I thought, I'm still going to use that time for something else on my business. So you could start to think about different things that you want to work on, and then you don't get so upset. You don't take it as such a personal thing if things fall through because of somebody else, because life happens, right? We are not always going to make a yoga class. Another amazing thing that I did, and I would really recommend if you are starting your own business, is to get Google reviews. Sounds very, very simple. It is very simple to set up. It's just amazing to have that credibility. So just create a Google page and send it out to your clients or whoever is experiencing your business and just collect reviews. I have over 100 reviews now from all around the world, and it's just so helpful for me to collect that and then share it. And yeah, it's just always great to have those references. Okay, back to one thing that I'm still trying to change. It's being late. If you are late to things, it does change the way that people see you. And I always blame this on my family, on Indian timing. And maybe it is, but I also think it's my fault. I'm just not the best with time management, and I'm sharing this in an open way because I think it really, really helps if you are on time. If you just take that extra time to make sure that you get there. I think I've seen it as an egoistic thing, honestly, that my time is too important, that my sleep is too important, that people can wait for me. No, be on time, especially if it's work related, because if you take your work seriously, you show up on time. This is something I'm still working on, but I'm definitely becoming much more conscious of it. So I think it will really help you too. Back to another thing that I'm really glad that I did is go to workshops. So I attended different workshops in the UK specifically. I went to this place called Stanta in St. Albans. It's a really amazing business that supports startups in St. Albans and the surrounding areas, and they basically run a bunch of different business workshops. So I actually went to a podcast workshop, how to start your own podcast, 2 years ago. I have pages and pages of notes. Basically, I'm trying to say, whether you go to Stanta or not, attend workshops, try to invite growth in all aspects of your life. And if you are in the spirituality realm or business, take charge. Don't just be in your feminine all the time of just trusting the divine. Yes, that's amazing, and you should do that, but also take action. Learn. See how you can properly serve people. That is really giving service, knowing how to reach the most amount of people who need your service. Another thing that I regret doing, and this is only for yoga teachers and people who have been to yoga classes, you're going to relate to this. I used to teach with my eyes closed, and this was such a weird thing. Like, I think I was just so invested in my practice and the presence of it, and of kind of escaping and being in my head in Rishikesh all the time, that I closed my eyes when I was teaching in gyms in the Netherlands, teaching outside in my garden in London. But if you're a teacher, you need to see your students. You're teaching to see your students, to see if they're, in the right position, that they're not going to injure themselves. This is not your time to practice. And it's something that I only learned, I think, after a year and a half of teaching. I did an audition for a yoga studio to teach that, and they told me, you need to open your eyes, which sounds really, really obvious, but for some reason I didn't think of that. So open your eyes if you're a yoga teacher. Hopefully everyone else does that, but that's just a mistake I made. One more thing that I feel really glad that I've done is network. Now, before you just skip and think, okay, that's so basic and boring, I don't mean just network on LinkedIn, make connections on LinkedIn. I don't mean just go to networking events, but I mean your inner circle and the situations you put yourself in are really, really important to help you to grow. Remove yourself from situations that are not serving you in that way. Or if you are stuck in those situations, see how you can change it to just learn something from that person that you're with, or perhaps you can ask for help. One thing I do is always carry my business cards with me, just so that I can, put my name out there. And in terms of networking, I love to ask for help. I love to ask for people's advice, what inspired them. And I also really love asking people what they do, but without telling me the role. And I'm sharing this with you because I feel sometimes we don't always know what to say when we network, because it can be hard to meet strangers and just have a whole conversation, especially if you're more introverted, which honestly I am. But this just sparks a connection in a whole nother way, because you're not just labeling someone by their job. So yeah, network, and also cut people out of your life or limit interactions. I think that's a softer way and better way to say it, with the people who are not supportive of your visions. And if you can, fill your circle up with people who are slightly more supportive of your visions, because those are the people that are going to help you to keep believing in yourself and keep elevating you. The last mistake I could say about my career is not having fun with it. Just because you're running your own business, just because you're doing something serious like teaching yoga, doesn't mean you can't have fun with it. Doesn't mean you can't laugh with people, you can't connect with people, hear more about their lives than just having this super strict formal relationships. You know what? I do want to know things about my clients and to hear about what they're going to do with their day and make them laugh a little bit and just be a bit clumsy, be myself. So feel free to add yourself into your business. That is what makes you, that your story is what makes your business unique. There could be so many other people in the world doing the same thing and they have already done it. But the thing that makes you unique is because you are the one doing it. No one has ever told your version. So just remember that. I really hope that this episode has given you some insights on things that I would recommend and would not recommend when building your own business or career, whether it's related to yoga or not. I hope this has helped you. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. As always, we close each episode of House of Yoga with a gratitude practice. So if you would like, you can bring your hands together to Namaste in front of your heart. And you can softly close your eyes. And today I want you to think about what you're grateful for in terms of your work. Why do you feel grateful for your work? Is it the money that it gives you to then invest into other things, other people? Is it the chance that you get to create things or be with other people? What do you feel grateful for in your work? Each of our work is a service. We are giving. So feel grateful for the chance that we get to do that. And then we also get to receive. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I can't wait to see you for the next one. Don't forget to share if you liked this episode, and just let me know how you're enjoying this podcast so far. Thank you so much.